This is exactly what this is. Perfect. This is all you need to see.
That's all you need to see is Martin throwing up.
Martin throwing up, right?
Yeah.
So that's all you need to see. Brett is where it's at for. Hey, the world needed. My generation needed Dorian and Leroy.
Yeah.
We needed them. Then the next generation needed Branch and Johnny.
Yep.
They were culturally required to keep things healthy.
Yeah.
And it's like what it's like
demographic.
Yeah, it's like what happens to the society if rock and roll music isn't there?
Yeah.
It goes astray. It's like if you don't have,
it's too much Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you don't have guys like this. You don't have these guys in the pool with everyone else.
Yeah.
The world isn't right. Hey everybody, welcome to It's Just Bodybuilding. I'm Big Ron Partlow. On the road home from Miami, and not with us right now is our friend Dusty Hanshaw. So it's just me and Scott, the producer, holding it down. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment, and
ring the bell.
Yes, beautiful. Okay. So Dusty's gone. That's okay. You guys have done a few without me. We'll just be really efficient. We'll just move through things. We'll blast through some. What do we got? We got a fun topic. Then we got some over-unders.
Yep. We have a bunch of listener questions.
Overrated,
too.
Underrated, I mean.
That main topic is 5 bodybuilders that you should be following their training.
Yes.
I took a poll before the show, and by took a poll, I mean I talked to a handful of my clients, guys that train really hard. All right, I'm being honest, and I said, "Hey, who would you say everybody should follow training wise?" And they threw out some really good stuff. People I would have thought of course, and then a couple that I was like, "Oh yeah, he's definitely on the list." Here's the thing too, Ron. There's a bunch more people that we're not going to mention today because there's so many good trainers out there. So I want to encourage too, as we get into that topic, anybody at home, anybody who's not on the list, tell us who else should be there. And if you can think of any honorable mentions along the way, you're welcome to. But yeah, we're going to leave a lot of people out today, I think, on that.
Well, I did one more extension of your poll. I asked my training partner.
Okay.
And he already read it. He already read it live.
Nice.
So I'll get one more person's input because I thought, shit,
right.
I forgot to ask Braden.
And we'll see if he picks one of the 5 that we already have here. We've got
I bet it's like 3 of the 5. I guarantee. Because the people that you got back on your poll, I'm like, oh, I bet Braden's that's one of the reasons I wanted to ask him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I did too. It's I know that, these guys train hard. They're going to come up with some good answers.
Yeah.
Should we just jump straight into that?
Let's jump straight into it. And it was funny. Obviously, we didn't have a lot of time to go over this list, but it was a quick list. And as soon as we got it, we were like, oh, yeah. Oh, these are great answers. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one guy, by the way, that's not on the list. Ryan just commented. Sommerfeld has a great channel. Yeah. So we don't have him on the list. We're already down one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Great channel.
Maybe it'll be a predictable list, but we'll see. I'll start here. Let me see who I can grab first. We've got, who is this? Oh, that's an obvious one. We're not going to go there. That's another obvious one. Let's go here. Who is this? What do I got here? We've got Hollingshead. That's a classic.
Nice. Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. So I tell my clients to follow Hollingshead. Yeah. There's more than one person on this list that I do that with.
Yep.
But I tell people to follow Hollingshead just because, not only can I vouch for him, like he's my friend, but I've trained with him multiple times. So I can vouch for he can do all that shit. That's not a special day for him. He didn't get especially psyched up for that moment. That was just any old leg day. He was feeling good. Figured I'm going to put 7 up, see how it feels, But real badass, good combo of badass mentality with the hardcore training and all that stuff that we love as an element of getting good, combined with constantly thinking and tweaking and making adjustments and trying to, get the most out of his training. So he's great to watch.
He's just, by the way, for our audio listeners, we're watching a video of him just rep out 7-plate squats.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Like just,
you know, not a warm up, but you know, it doesn't look like the hardest thing ever.
perfect form, man. Like,
and you know what, too?
with a chick spotting him. You got to throw that. It's his wife spotting him, right?
Right. Yeah. We just did a reaction video to him on Blood, Sweat, and Gear the other week. And he mentioned, he was like, you gotta be married to this thing. Like, you gotta get in there and show up every workout.
Yeah.
And that kind of reminded me of something. I thought of that because of something you said about, like, this isn't him just like getting up for the camera. Like, this is the way he trains. And I've heard that before. Like, I remember hearing Fuad say years back now, he said, like, if you came and trained with me, you know, like, you could get up for it. You know, maybe you take some extra pre-workout. You prepared. You made sure you got all your hydration, all your food for a few days. You're getting ready. And you keep up, you know. But to train with a pro at that high level and
every
do it
single day.
Every day. They do that
pounding.
exact same thing. That's what's really impressive with guys like this, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I remember that exact Fuad quote.
Do you?
Right? Yeah, I do. Because he was like if someone won a contest, they could come and train with me, and they'd train legs, and they'd hang.
Yeah.
But we got back tomorrow, and then we got shoulders Thursday, and then we got chest Saturday, and then there's legs again on Monday, and you got to be here. And if you're 5 minutes late, I'm really irritated. And then we're off to, like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just, can you train with me? Can you hang with me? Can you do extended business with me for an extremely long period of time?
Yeah.
You know?
All right. I got another one on the list here, and we got another good one. I guess we're staying in the UK for now. Got a little bit of Kuba Cielen.
I know. And you got
like a couple weeks out.
Yeah. And you got to, the funny thing is, as soon as you said, hey, I got an idea for a question, and you told me, I was like, oh, well, Kuba's name's going to come up. And then you listed, you're like, some names came up so many times, and Kuba's the first name you said. Like, Kuba's name kept coming up. And I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. And he's on this channel. But that's because we associate with like-minded people. So it's no surprise.
That's it, man. That's it. By the way, we tried to get Kuba for the show today, and he couldn't make it because it is past 8 o'clock in the England time, and he is asleep at 8 p.m. That's his bedtime.
Right.
Yes. Look at that. Look at the speed on these negatives on this pendulum squat. Ooh.
Boom.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's funny. I know that there's a lot of, you know, the science-based community now is saying, like, oh, the negatives don't matter. They don't matter at all. BS. The only thing that negatives do is drain you of strength for your next rep.
Nope. It's okay. Nope.
They can say that. But even if the negative doesn't contribute, I still think the best idea is to control your negative completely so that you can put the most torque on the target muscle out of the bottom, you know, that you don't get that, you know, bounce reflex stretch
elastic
thing going
response
on.
is
the elastic response
term. Yes.
And I know we use that to our advantage when the reps get tough. We use a little bit of that. Like, that's how athletes, that's part of being, that's an athletic thing. That's a nervous system, neuromuscular.
To help make something easier.
Yeah,
Keep doing it.
It's a neuromuscular skill, really. So I know we do use it on the hard reps later. That's very advanced thinking. But I think controlling your negatives is going to be the most efficient way to put stress on the muscle when you do the rep. So even if they're correct and there's no link, which I don't believe we can conclusively say that at this point.
No, we can't.
I still think it's best to control them, and, you know, that's what Kuba's doing, you know. So,
100%, man.
Yeah. Smart guy, minimizing the trend now that we've all come to learn our lesson. And I hope that trend with a D.
I always get that confused.
I know everyone does.
I hear what I want to hear.
Yeah, I know. And the thing now is everyone's trying to minimize risk.
Oh yeah.
And I think my generation had like gladiator mentality. I will admit that we did a lot of dumb shit. We took all the risk. And I like to think that the next generation can learn from that and minimize the risk. And that's what you're seeing with all the machine training now, the really smart controlling movements. This is all where this is all rooted in just minimizing risk to extend your years, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Let me see what else we got here. Cause we have, it's 5 and 4 in no particular order. Let's see, there's James, there's this one. We'll go to him. All right. Let's go here. Here's a good one. This is Brett Wilkin. Now, Brett Wilkin, I would say he's.
That's exactly what this is. Perfect. This is all you need to see.
That's all you need to see is Martin throwing up.
Martin throwing up, right?
Yeah.
So that's all you need to see. Brett is where it's at for. Hey, the world needed. My generation needed Dorian and Leroy.
Yeah.
We needed them. Then the next generation needed Branch and Johnny.
Yeah.
They were culturally required to keep things healthy.
Yeah.
And it's like what it's like
demographic.
It's like what happens to the society if rock and roll music isn't there?
Yeah.
It goes astray. It's like problem. If you don't have,
it's too much Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you don't have guys like this. You don't have these guys in the pool with everyone else.
Yeah,
the world isn't right, and I just like to think that they're doing crazy shit, and and when you follow these guys, what you're gonna get, I think it's important to follow someone who maybe does some formula stuff.
Yeah.
So you're exposed to it, and you're gonna see that in the list. We kind of see that with Kuba. Kuba's very, very like, hey, I wrote down that forced rep, and I wrote down he's very on that, right?
Yeah.
I think these guys, I think Brett and, obviously Martin, I think they're a little bit more, hey, I'm not quite fucked up yet. What do you want to do? Let's do one more thing. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we should do one strip set on the leg press to finish. One more. What can we do on this set? I think
and there's some
we need
gut
some of that.
Intuition involved in that.
Yeah.
And a little bit of sadomasochism, that's
There's also a little Indiana Jones. Where can we go? What's on the other side of this rep? I see all these guys as there's they're holding up part of what bodybuilding is,
And it scares me because I like these guys a lot and I want to see both of them do really well. You know what I mean? But I understand they're safe. They're not doing anything stupid. There is
no, but
I mean?
they are, come on, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some of that. And the world needs a bit of that is all I'm saying, Scott.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you 100%.
All
right, we've got 2 more on the list here. And like I said, guys, we're only going to have 5 people here. And we need you to tell us who else belongs on this list. Of course, we've mentioned him so many times. You guys knew that he had to be here. And I had to pull up the T-bar row, the chest-supported T-bar row. Because when I think about a chest-supported T-bar row, I think about Justin Shier. That's what I picture. This is the way it's supposed to look. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Justin's a guy I tell all my clients to follow him.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you don't know how to do an exercise, just go on this guy's Instagram and just scroll until you see it. Because he covers everything. And then you saves me 100 texts. I think Justin saves me about 100 texts with every client.
Saves you a lot of time.
Yeah, saves me a lot of time. And then the best part about Justin is I don't pay him at all.
So it's all free to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's his fault for putting this stuff out there for free. I mean,
he could make this into an app, just him training. Be like, you want to see T-bar row? Just subscribe.
Right.
Subscribe to my app.
Perfect set.
Yeah, it really is, man. The level of control that he has in this stuff is incredible. And it's in everything he does, I'm going to see if I can pull up. What else do we have here? How about this? I haven't watched a leg press in a while. Let's see this. You know what I'm really noticing, Ron? Everybody. Brett was doing it. You're going to see Justin doing it. Much more depth on the leg press than what we used to see years back, And I think it's for the good, honestly.
I remember when Blood and Guts came out and we all saw how deep Dorian actually went.
Yeah.
Because he sinks those pretty good. And on that side, on the Cybex, right? I remember we all were like, oh, we gotta, like, because I was like taught this old school, like, go to 90.
Right.
Right. You go to 90, you don't want your hips to roll at all, which is true. But
Sure.
if you got good hip mobility and you got some good ankle flexion, you can get deeper than that. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And so I remember when we all saw Blood and Guts, we were like, oh, we're on the right track. We're doing the hacks all the way. I'm smashing the hacks and everything, Smith squatting all deep. Like I was always like that. But the leg presses were purposely sort of like, you know, just touching my chest with my quads a bit, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Justin is full range of motions. He's using one of those Hustler pads or whatever.
Those are cool.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, on our Prime, we have the Prime leg extension. I get plenty deep on the last hole. I put it all the way to number 1, and I'm like as deep as I need to be.
Yeah.
But I imagine that pad helps if you put it on another setting and you need a bit more room, or I mean, he's got shorter legs, so maybe it really comes in handy with him.
And you could put it on any machine. This Strive, it might be not quite as deep. I know my leg press, or excuse me, my extension, it doesn't get quite as deep. So
Right.
I kind of like scoot forward in the seat a little bit. You know what I mean?
Extra.
Let my legs hang under it a little bit.
Yeah. No, Justin's a good follow. Just textbook form. You know what I mean? Controlling
And
everything.
with massive weight is the key. And
Yeah.
he's talked about that on our programs before, is that it's not just the form, but then it's get that first, but then learn how to load it. Because if you, I think in most cases, Ron, if you tried to emulate his technique on any of this stuff, all of a sudden you're stripping back 3 plates less than what you were doing before. You know what I mean?
His hamstring deadlifts are very respectable. Like, you see, he's doing like, you know, almost 5 plates, 4.5 plates or whatever he does for hamstrings. But the way he does the reps is just like,
and if you want to emulate that, you're probably going to have to go real light at first.
Yeah, everyone else taking a plate off theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I've got, I think, one more here. I think, we're cooking through the list here. We've got one more, and you guys would probably already have to have known that he was going to be on the list. I mean, Nick Walker, everybody's been talking about his training now for all of 2025. I feel like this is like, man, well, you tell me, what do you think, Ron? But I feel like he is like so self-actualized now. Like he figured out, I've seen him since back in the day. I remember the first time I met him. And when I say met him, the first time I interviewed him, he was an amateur still.
Yeah.
And I remember him making a trip over to Coach's garage and training there, you know, and picking up some more high intensity stuff, reducing the volume, and really kind of plugging in with you know, getting the most out of the least. Now that was huge step forward for him, but I mean, now he's taking it to an absolutely different level, you know?
Yeah. I tell a lot of people to follow him and watch him train. Because like I find with myself, I get a little stuck in, because been around for a long time. I think everyone who's been around for a long time goes through this in every field, like whether it's, whatever your expertise is, whatever you do, you think, oh, everyone knows this.
Yeah.
Right? Like everyone knows that by now. Like I thought that back in the 90s, but I know that that's not true now. But then you realize, no, that's a new thing for every person. Every person who's new to bodybuilding has this certain misconception.
Yep.
It doesn't go away so I forget that some people don't know certain things. Yeah. So I tell them, I'm like, was it because they say, oh, Nick's got 6 plates on the leg press. What's like, they don't get it.
Right.
I'm like,
right.
Oh, you don't understand. What do you mean you don't get it? Like, you see the way he's moving it? You see what he's doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, not everybody understands what's going on here. But so I think it's good to be exposed to it, is my point, my roundabout point. And
Nick's 6 plates equates to your 2.5 plates, just to, you know what I'm saying? Like when you figure that out, like you really do have to find humility to train with control.
Yeah. So it's, and when you said actualized, that was like the perfect way to put it. And I also sort of thought of when we interviewed Nick on the show a little while ago. Yeah. I remember thinking like, how athletes have their different phases.
That depth and that leg press. Jesus.
Yeah. You know, a lot of athletes have their different phases. Like with Ronnie, we have like, you know, his before he was a Mr. O phase where he was a cop, and then we got the Mr. O phase, and then we got the, you know, the post retirement phase. Like, I feel like Nick is in a new phase this year. And when you said self-actualized, I was like, that's a perfect way to say it. He's got the bald head. He's got the glasses now. So he's got this new look.
He does.
His training's changed. He's way bigger. He came out and had the killer shows this year. Yep. You know, like I just feel like he shifted a bunch of gears.
Yeah, he did.
Is sort of like his character has changed. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's
5
years later, and another movie comes out, and the character is different. And you're like, oh, what's going to happen? You know?
Yeah, it's almost like too. If you think about the way the history of bodybuilding works, this is like the Lavroni with the shaved head. Do you know what I mean? Right. There's going to be like, oh, are you talking about Nick Walker with the flat top, or Nick Walker with the glasses and the shaved head?
Or Flex Wheeler,
that was a good Nick Walker. You know what I mean?
You got young Flex and you got older Flex with the shaved head. It was like took on Ronnie, right? So it's just funny. It's like it really is like visually and metaphorically and in the training, it's all like a new version of Nick. And so, but the training the training's zoned in too. Like he's just, you know, every rep is identical. Yeah, you know,
that's one thing I want everybody to take home. And I see that you know, Ron, I think too, that's something I've taken for granted is, as you call it, and I tell people this, man, I'll say the guy that I podcast with, my friend that I podcast with, Ron Partlow, calls it robot reps. And that's what I want to see, is try to make each rep identical. That's a skill, man. You don't just decide to do that and now you're doing it. Like that's, as Stefan said last week, you have to train yourself. It takes time to get to that point where you can do robot reps, you know?
Making any movement identical over time with repetition is an athletic skill. Yeah. You know, it is. You're controlling your body, right? And you're memorizing a pattern, and it feels the same every time.
Yeah. You know. So shout out to these guys. These were the 5 that I had pulled together on the list. Who did Braden come up with?
It's funny. Curious. So right before we did our list, I asked Braden, and he said Brett Wilkin, Martin, Shier.
Martin got a mention in there.
Martin got an automatic.
You can't do Brett without, you know, Martin. Yeah.
He got Shier.
Yep.
He said Kuba. He said Hollingshead. And so it's funny because I asked him for 5 guys and he gave me 6.
Okay. Yeah.
You know who the 6th was?
Who's the 6th?
Meadows.
Somebody else mentioned Meadows too.
Really?
Yeah. Bill, my client Bill, mentioned Meadows. He said he's watched so much of his stuff. I learned so much from John myself, dude. For, you know, I remember, Ron, there was a time that he was posting on just some of his ideas on Professional Muscle would show up. And I started following those ideas and trying to translate that into my own workouts. This was like 2008, 2009, maybe. And I'd tell people like, oh, I'm doing mountain dog training. And people were like, oh, is that like dog crap training? And I was like, no, it's something different. Right. And honestly, though, the thing is that because I was taking these bits and pieces, I wasn't actually doing real mountain dog training, but I was doing what I thought John was. And I had some of the ideas down, but I had some of it wrong. And then later I had the opportunity to really nail it in. But yeah, John is another great example.
It's funny. I have this video on my phone of John spotting me on Pendulum.
Yeah.
From 2019, the last time when he came to my gym. So we trained legs together. Yeah. And it was me and Braden walked in to train legs, and John Meadows was standing there.
Oh man. And
I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm in town for the show. I came up to I'm at the supplement booth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he's like, I sent you a message. And I looked on Instagram and there was a message I hadn't seen yet.
Oh man.
And he's like, I was going to ask you what you're training. I said, I'm doing legs. And he goes, let's do it. So we just did legs like spontaneously, and Braden showed up like a minute later. And you know, we had just started training together, and he was kind of newer to the whole scene. And Meadows, he was like, thought Meadows was like way up here, right? So he rolls into train and he's like, what's going on? I'm like, we're training with Meadows today. And he's like, oh, you know? So it was
Yeah.
awesome because we smashed a leg workout with John, and it was great. We had a fun time, took pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
I still
That's
bug
so
Braden.
cool, man.
I'm like, you got to train with because of me. Fucking
We got
Meadows,
to train with Scott McNally, put that on
Bumstead.
the list. and
we did
McNally.
chest with Bumstead, McNally a couple times. You got to train with McNally.
Oh man, I do want to hit the compound though. Next time I'm in town, man, I gotta get out there.
Definitely, we will. We'll go hit the compound.
All right. So once again, guys, everybody in the chat, I want you to let us know who did we miss, because there's a bunch of good guys. We already know that we missed Mike the Badass, and there's a bunch more. So tell us, tell everybody else. Share with everybody else, because there might be. I mean, for a lot of us, we're just enjoying talking about these guys that we enjoy seeing training, right? But
yeah, and I'd enjoy talking about some other names that people threw them up. Like there's
and there might be,
you know what I mean? There's
some newer people too
that
don't know these guys. You know what I'm saying? So you might be educating somebody.
And that's going back to what I was saying, where I just assume everyone knows stuff,
right?
So like and I think a lot of people who do podcasts run into that. Like you've talked about things a lot.
Yeah.
So you start to wonder, like, well, we've already talked about that, but you don't realize there's a whole new group of people who haven't heard that yet. And
I remember John, speaking of John, actually said that to me once. We were talking and it was off air and everything. And he was like, man, sometimes I'll do just an exercise I've done for 20 years and I post it and people say, oh my gosh,
yeah,
I've never seen that before. He's like, and I just don't even think about it,
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Yeah, no, I know exactly what he's talking about. You know? Yeah. Oh, who do we got here? Oh, she suggested Jordan Hutchinson. Ryan.
Oh, yeah,
Ryan
of
suggested
course.
Jordan, of course.
Of course. Good job, Ryan.
Yeah. Him and his partner.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are awesome. All right, I've got a follow-up for you. This came from YouTube. And Ron, these guys are always welcome to comment on YouTube and comment on Spotify, dude. I got to tell you, man, you ever this is my analogy, Ron. You ever like pull your winter jacket out and you haven't worn it all year and you find like a 20 in the pocket?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we set up Spotify back when we started the podcast, and I hadn't been checking the numbers. Spotify is like blowing away everything else on the audio podcast. Like we're getting a lot of views. I mean, I'm sure that there's other channels that are getting more, but it's around like 50,000 views, 60,000 views per month. So like, it's pretty freaking incredible, man. Which is like 60,000 on top of everything else that I didn't even realize we were getting this whole time. So that said, I'm starting to take questions from Spotify. All of our content is also released on video now on Spotify. Spotify is now our main host for the audio podcast. So you can watch videos there, and that will get sent out to iTunes or, Apple Podcast and all of that. So anyway, segue we're on into that question. This is from YouTube. You guys are welcome to leave comments, questions for the next show. Can you best describe the first time someone showed you how to take your training from intermediate to advanced or expert? What were the main differences that made you realize how most people train compared to how a pro trains?
So I had no shortage of, I was very early to develop into a very hard training, pretty darn good form bodybuilder. Like I was pretty much out of the box within the first 6 months. I was really early to develop into essentially like 80% of what I was as far as like how I moved weights and going to failure and give me a forced rep. Like I had no intensity shortage at all.
Yeah.
Like at all. I was trying to kill myself, trying to out-train all the kids I was training with. He did 6, I got to get 7. I got to fucking get 7. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like that sort of mentality.
Yeah.
But when I was 19 and I went to Australia and I met John Davey and Nick Jones, and I started training with my 2 Australian buddies, they were much higher level. Nick was, qualifying for the worlds and winning national classes. John was on the verge of being a pro. He was a big heavyweight. So these guys were like the level above me. I hadn't competed yet. And when I started training with them, they did things like we were doing press downs one day, and I remember John was like, "Get your shoulders back. Like you're coming over way too much. There's too much pack in your press down." I had control of it, right? Like I wasn't flailing all over. I had control of it, but my form was like lots of torque on the pecs, really heavy. So I remember John moving the pin down, like dropping off like 40 pounds off my press down and being like, keep your shoulders back, use your triceps, not as much like, and I remember just him like adjusting me on things like the first week in the gym training with him. Yeah. And I remember Nick, like you got to like, when you do your leg extensions, you got to try to like almost try to lift your leg off the bench, like that little extra, those little things. And I realized that they were paying extra attention and still putting the same intensity out and still getting more reps than me and still stronger. It's like, oh, okay, I got to like correct and like get certain things, like I was just little things, but it was a lot of those things. And I was like, oh, there's more like precision. They're more precise than me. There's a level of precision that goes with the I'm going to kill myself. Yeah. Right. Might have to edit that. But there's a level of like, of minimizing risk without realizing that's what they were doing.
And I think getting more out of that target muscle, like Stefan was saying, like you can pump up everything, or you can try to get that pump into that target muscle.
I remember we were Smith squatting one day, and I could Smith squat 4 plates, like no problem, but I was dropping a little too fast and getting too much kind of punch out of the hole. Okay. And I remember like John was like, take a plate off. I remember that. And I was like, that's 3 plates. That's like nothing. I'm not squatting 3. I'm gonna do. But he like made me do, you know what I mean? It was an ego thing. I was 19 years old. I wanted to train with the big guys, right? Right. But I vividly remember him saying, well, take a plate off for your next set. And I was like, oh. But I did what I was told because he was.
You listened.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another thing. Those 2 guys were way better than me. So if they told me to do something, I didn't argue. Yeah.
You were in a good spot then, man, because sometimes I'll work with somebody and I'll even like local guys, I'll bring them over here and they're telling me like, oh, I just squatted 6 plates last week and this and that. And I get them on my hack squat and I have them crying with a plate and a half because we're controlling, doing super slow negatives, pausing in the hole, all that stuff. But then they go right back to the 6 plates. And, it's like, come on. You got to learn it maybe there's some point. Yeah.
Take a little bit of this back with you. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't expect them to take 100%, but like if you could have taken 40, you get a lot from it,
Yeah. Yeah. I just remember them kind of showing me that there was intention with everything. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, somebody mentioned yours has a great channel too.
I can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
When is that show? Man. I forget the date for it even.
I do too. Maybe you guys... We can let the audience tell us. They'll let us know.
Because it's going to be very interesting. Apparently he's like 35 pounds heavier. Yeah. And like ready to go. Like just, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do, man.
And it's the Italy, right? Yep. Italy. 2025. Oh, it's the Flex Pro. Okay. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, that's saying this event has passed. Oh. What's coming up?
Well, while you're looking that up, I'll say that I was lucky to get trained or taught by my parents with lifting because they already were into weightlifting and bodybuilding to a degree. They never competed, but they were, real active in it, and their good friends were bodybuilders. So I started learning from them from the time I was a little kid. But a lot of it, Ron, was like 80s stuff that it wasn't right. You know what I mean? Right. So I had to kind of like relearn some of those things. And I did a lot of learning on my own. But then having a chance to train with, like, after my first contest prep, then I trained with my coach. And he showed me some things I had never thought of before. Like we pre-fatigued the pecs. I had never done that, Right. And I had spent the whole previous year getting as strong as I could on a barbell bench press. And now we're going as hard as we can on the pec deck first, which completely zapped my strength, right? But I ended up getting strong again, a few months down the road, that strength came back. And the next year, my pecs were substantially better. So I started seeing that kind of thing. Or I think I told you the story of I incline bench pressed the 90-pound dumbbells. And I was telling John Simmons at my gym, yeah, man, I got the 90s, John. I'm going to go for the 100s. And he was like, well, how about you learn to take those 90s instead of 10 reps, learn how to get it for 20. And I guarantee you your chest will grow. And I'm starting to realize over time that, yeah, maybe it's not all about the weight, although I will say that a lot of what I had been indoctrinated with was more volume. I don't think you ever went to that place, did you?
No, not totally for crazy long periods of time anyways. I tried a lot of stuff out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also remember one thing that I tell people that, I think there's a certain type of bodybuilder that has a bad habit of getting too locked in to their routine, right? And they're the type of person that it actually takes fun away from the whole experience, right? Like maybe like a friend they run into at the gym who's doing arms. He's like, hey, do arms with me. He's like, oh no, I can't do arms with you. I'm doing like a superset with these two, and it doesn't work with two people. And you just go like, I was like that's a shame. Because like I had a lot of great workouts. Like I had a lot of days where I was like, okay, let's have a good workout. And then something happened. I wound up training with somebody and had like an awesome workout. Yeah. Right. And I just think that's just something that I hope everyone can have. So I always tell the story. One time I remember I went to the gym and I had to work so I wasn't going to train with John and our buddy. I was going to train by myself. But then, your hours get changed or you get off early or something. And I show up at the gym and they're literally there warming up.
Oh, no kidding. Perfect.
But I had already planned to train by myself. So I was like going to do this other thing. So I went over and I was like warming up on this one shoulder press. And John comes over, he goes, hey, come train with us, man. Like we're doing this machine. And I was like, oh, well, I wanted to do this. And he goes, oh, well, okay, if you don't want to get any better. And I remember I was like, fucking guy. Okay, I'll come train with you guys. Yeah. And I put my, pick my stuff up, went over, trained with them. And then we just wound up having this great work or yelling at each other and shoulder pressing heavy. But it was just like, it just always reminds me of like some people get a little too in their little head, have some fun,
You know what too, man, with that, like, I've been in the position, and this is like life in general, where I had to teach myself that if you're having a bad day, you can start your day over at any time. It doesn't have to keep being a bad day. You know what I mean?
Very important.
And if you're having a bad workout, Ron, all these things, the workout is a metaphor for life,
Totally.
It really is, though. You can start your workout over, and maybe it's not going to look like what your expectations were, but it can still be like a kick-ass workout,
Yep, you can. The next set, you can change your mentality and your mindset, and you can decide to have a great workout for the next 2 exercises.
Yep.
And then you got to go because you got to go to work or whatever. Yeah. But you can change the trajectory of what's going on. You can call an audible. You can, you know what I mean? There's all sorts of funny things that have happened. Like I remember going to film a mutant video and I was like warming up on legs. Yeah. And I hurt my quad.
In the warm up.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. So just like, well, okay, it's arm day. We're doing arms. So I remember I ran and cut the sleeves off my shirt because I didn't have another shirt.
Yeah, so you had your leg day shirt.
I had my leg day shirt.
Like a little oversized.
It was a mutant shirt for So I was, oh fuck, I couldn't cut my sleeves off. We're doing arm day at this gym, just pull an audible and just fucking ruin my day, but solve my day. And then wound up having a great arm workout for the video. And I remember seeing it after, going, oh, I look better. And I wasn't ready. Like I didn't have a spray tan. I thought it was going to be too white. Yeah, wasn't planning on arms.
I love it. Oh, Ryan chimed in again. He's got another one for us. He said, you guys can't forget Sean Clarita.
Oh, yeah.
There's another one.
Great addition to the list. Obviously, there's a lot of our friends would be on that list.
Yeah.
It was funny how many names came up repeatedly, immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Because you asked like an hour before the show.
Yep. And it was like all just repeats. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the show is September 7th. So this weekend.
Okay.
So we'll find out. It's going to be killer. What do you think?
We don't have the list of.
I got it right here. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Who's all in it that we would know?
Oh, well, I mean, it's pretty big.
Okay.
Yeah, William,
Is Good Vito in it?
Good Vito. That Amir guy's in it. Enrico Petrobon from Italy. A couple good Italian guys, Manuel. See, who do we know? obviously. Mark Hector, Quentin Aria, Kuba, Andre Carleão from Brazil, Roberto Bonomo from Italy, Tim Budesheim, Lewis Breed.
I'm a big fan of Tim. His
Bolzoni.
conditioning is out of this world, man.
Yeah. There's a bunch of guys. Sergio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sergio's doing it. So yeah, it'll be an interesting show, man. Some big dudes in that. Like, Tim Budesheim's, I mean, it's almost big as they get. Quentin, I mean, it's going to be awesome to see those guys standing next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Sergio, man, I'm excited to see
Sergio's
what he does.
Really big.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize, I mean,
I saw him compete at the 2018 Chicago Pro.
Did he win that one?
I think he took second to
okay.
What's his name with the crazy quads that she's just like other level, just genetic. I'll think of it. Somebody will maybe chime. I got to look it up now. When you hear his name, you're going to say like, oh yeah, of course,
Yeah.
Put in, let's see if I go 2018.
Because Sergio's very big. I don't know if he's 6 feet tall, but he might be 6 feet tall. Like he's big, like,
Michael Lockett.
Oh yeah, Michael Lockett.
You know what I mean? Genetics. Like that's the first
right.
thing that comes to mind. Yeah, Michael Lockett won that one.
I remember Michael Lockett at the North Americans that year. I said, man, I didn't expect to see you here. And he goes, yeah, I just decided to do the show 3 weeks ago. And I was like, oh really? And he's like, yeah, I just like hopped on my diet real quick.
Yeah.
And his diet is like stop eating McDonald's.
Right. Yeah. Just, clean it up a little bit. Justin Rodriguez was third there.
Oh yeah.
Brad Rowe was competing at that time.
Oh
he was
yeah.
Fourth, and there's a bunch going on there. But I just remember he looked incredible. But I will say Sergio was the crowd favorite. He's like Chicago boy. And like he had a song that referenced Chicago and his posing routine.
Right,
and
right.
Everybody was pumped for him. It was almost as if Michael Lockett was the bad guy that night, for having just been showing up and
just
winning.
Not from Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's funny.
Exactly.
I love it when a crowd has an opinion, though, instead of being a dead crowd.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it makes a bodybuilding show fun if people are at least cheering. It's I remember when bodybuilding shows used to be quiet in the morning, except you yell at your friends when they're doing the round. They're doing the compulsories. Everyone starts yelling.
And you know who the friends are.
Yeah,
in
you
the
hear
audience,
the friend groups. Quads, hit the quads, and everyone's yelling. And then at the night show, it was like pandemonium. Everyone would clap and cheer and yell. Yeah. And if we complain about how bodybuilding shows now are just groups of people leaving and coming and on their phones and just Yeah. Like, don't leave in the middle of a posing routine. I hate that.
Yeah.
At the night show, let the guy finish his posing routine, then get up and get out of there.
The biggest compliment that I may have ever gotten was from a friend of mine, Sarah Bruce, and she worked with Mike Davies. And that's when Mike was running the Arnold Amateur. And so we were in the press pit at the Arnold Classic, and Sarah was sitting with us, and she was hanging out with VJ and I the whole weekend. And after the show, she said, VJ and Scott watch bodybuilding shows the way most people watch college football. Like, we were like, God, look at his legs. And, we're screaming. We probably look like idiots, but I really don't care,
That college football. Yeah. No, that's true. I also had a conversation with someone the other day about how we used to like we used to dress down for the morning show, and then we dress up for the night show. We've mentioned that before. Like, it used to be a real thing.
Yeah.
Dress up for the night show. Got to throw some jeans on. It was fun.
Absolutely.
Hey. Okay.
All right, you want to jump into some of these listener questions here? We had a bunch of them.
Yeah, we had listener questions, and then I know you had some overrated, underrateds.
Yeah, let's make sure we save time for those because Victoria came up. By the way, somebody said, you guys mentioned these people like Victoria and Steve. Can you mention last names so that I can follow them too? I was like, oh, that's maybe a good idea, right? That would probably have been Vigorous Steve and Victoria Felker. She's a brilliant scientist. You guys should all follow her.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so let me see what we've got here. Okay, how about this one? This would be a good one for you. Question for the next one. What are your top most iconic bodybuilding pictures of all time that come to mind? Mine are J09 quad stomp, Tom Platz, and Lee Priest tricep flex, and of course the iconic Dorian Yates front double bicep in the gym with the socks on.
Right. Those are all great ones.
This is Lucas from Austria, by the way. Shout out to Austria.
So there's the iconic tricep one.
That's a classic.
Right off the bat, right? Obviously.
I like the way Tom Platz is yelling in that. Like he's...
Yeah. And I love how he's got the Big Beyond Belief sweatshirt on, which was like a training booklet back then that you could buy. It was like a training method. Big Beyond Belief, Here's the diet. Here's the workout.
Yeah.
Did
you read that? Did you follow it?
I read that, yeah. I read that. Big protein shakes in it and everything.
That was the secret.
Meal 4. It'd be some crazy blender shake with 3 chocolate chip cookies. I think that was the book.
Nice.
Yeah. So what else? What did he say?
He also said, of course, the J2009 quad stomp.
Yeah, that's a classic. I think this one is a classic. Obviously the video is even more of a classic, but just this image alone, like, they say sometimes you can hear certain images.
Mm-hmm.
Like certain images have a smell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, buddy.
Right.
Yeah, buddy. And that's Ronnie on the leg press for our audio people.
2,300 solid ass pounds. Remember? You got the leg press all loaded up there. Yeah, that was a classic. That's one of the ones that always comes to mind.
Okay.
I'll show you the Dorian one that I wonder if it's going to come up if I just... Oh, fuck, it's so funny. Man, AI and Google now, the searches.
Oh, yeah.
So easy. This picture to me is probably... Well, there's 2 here that are like the most quintessential Dorian photo. I'm going to blow this up so it's not quite the whole picture. But this photo here.
Oh, that one, huh?
Yeah. This photo, I remember seeing this picture of Dorian because you could see his gym. Like, it's not, he's not lifting anything in it, but you just see he's like, it looks like he's walking towards that barbell.
It's what the kids would call a vibe, Ron.
It's a vibe. That picture's a vibe. And that's why I remember it and I never forgot it. You got the Zuba pants, the T. Michael shirt.
Total vibe.
He's got the Nikes on. Like, it's, you can tell like it's 1994. Like there's
all the paint's chipping off everything.
Yeah, or 92, might be 92. The paint chipping, it's clearly a shithole dungeon.
Yeah.
Like look at the floor, and you get a feeling off that was like, I remember seeing that photo in the magazine when they were kind of talking. I guess it would have been early. Yeah, it would have been like 91, 92 when he was coming up and they were really trying to sell him as a character in the magazines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'd show these photos. And then this one is another one. It's like the same era.
Oh,
looks like the exact same day.
Great.
But like that photo to me was always very iconic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
What about you? You got one that you're thinking of?
You know what? I do. I'm going to see if it just pops up here because it's a pretty common picture. and it's a studio picture, I believe.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know, and this is real early. Here we go. It's this one. This is when I learned about, at the time, modern bodybuilding. See if I can get that to show up there.
Is that Lee Haney?
Yeah, I'm not. It's Lee Haney. I can't get it to. Can't
get
my.
it to
I have
focus
too.
in?
I have too good of a camera to focus.
There we go. I got it.
There we go. Yeah.
Nice.
So, because I remember, you know, watching Pumping Iron with my dad and his friends as a kid, and then, you know, I was like, oh, you know, Arnold this and Arnold that, and my dad's friend told me, he's like, yeah, but so Arnold's retired now, and there's a new guy. He's even bigger. I was like, oh, it's like, this is the guy that everybody's going after now. His name's Lee Haney. And then I just remembered seeing him on the cover of magazines from there forward, and getting those magazines and taking the fold out pictures out, you know, and putting them up on my, we didn't have a finished basement. So it was like a painted cement wall in our basement. Okay. And I tried to like take tape, you know, like Scotch tape, and stick them up on that wall, and then it'd come peeling down a day later, you know. But that was my little gym setup, and I had a couple pictures of Lee up there at that time. And yeah, never did capture that physique for myself, but
wow, I don't think very many people did. Jeez.
Right.
I also got to give a mention to this whole series. I know there's a bunch of them, but I mean this series was iconic.
Okay.
And it was a whole generation. But that Frank McGrath shoot.
Oh, dude, that's funny you say that, because I was thinking of the animal stuff. You know?
That black and white animal shoot that Frank McGrath did back, man, that would have been what? Late 90s?
No, really? That I thought it was like 06.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. He would have turned pro in 03. What am I got my years screwed up. So Frank turned pro 03, so yeah, 08. Yeah, it was like a whole decade off there. Yeah.
It's all right. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I didn't even know who he was for like 5 years. I just saw the pictures. You know what I mean? I saw those arms, and I was like, oh. And they had the mood to it too. Like him, you know, there's like him sitting at the table, like with his food, while his girl's laying in the bed waiting for him. And he's like, hardcore.
Oh, yeah, that one too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like all these real hardcore tropes, but
yeah, like she's waiting on him hand and foot, you know?
She was like, no, like she's waiting for him to like be with her.
Yeah.
But he's like,
he's eating.
But
he's busy.
Yeah, he's busy. He's doing the work of a bodybuilder right now.
There we go. There he is, doing the work.
Doing the work, yes.
Can't miss out on the work.
Do we vote for him for having some of the best arms and best forearms in bodybuilding ever?
I remember when I first met Frank, he had those forearms, and I said, what did you do for forearms? And obviously I can't do an impression of him. I'm not going to insult him by trying to sound newfie, but he did at the time have a much thicker accent because he was fresh off the rack, or however they say it. But I remember he flexed his forearm. He was like, I got to show off my forearm there. Yeah. He flexed his forearm, and he goes, me daddy has bigger, me daddy. I remember he said me daddy. Like, I'll never forget. It was like a newfie lingo thing. He's like, me daddy's got bigger forearms than me. And I remember just thinking like, oh, fuck. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You're just better.
It all makes sense now. Yeah, it all makes sense now.
Okay. I see where this is going. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good call. All of those pictures. In fact, those were things that like you'd flip through the magazines and you'd see like what the latest ad was. And it was one of 10 pictures. They did a really good job at that time of like selling an idea, you know, selling like a mindset.
Totally. And I also got to say, like, you know, looking back on all the years I spent, you know, really huge and heavy and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And I think to like Frank walking around looking like this, he probably only weighs 245 here because he never got crazy heavy, right? He wasn't huge, but he had the friggin' arms.
Yeah.
So Frank could walk around at like 235, 240 in a tank top like this all year. Can you imagine just going to Safeway looking like that? But he's only like 235 or 240, right? So it's not like that hard to do.
Yeah.
He's probably eating 3 meals a day with a shake looking like that.
Maintaining that. Yeah.
Right. Like, and so like Who had a better decade? He did that for a whole decade. Like, he's a smart one, right? Like, you know what I mean? And you just think back, like, it's just funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
And I'm over here like, how many more sets do I need to do for arms to even remotely look like I, train them?
Yeah. I know. No, that was a good question. I like that. Those were great.
Good. I've got one that will, I think, be a nice follow-up to that. Give me just a second to kind of dive through here, because this will be, like I said, we kind of have this whole like running theme here today with the questions, which is working out really nice. Okay, let's see. There's another one. There's a few good ones for you here too, Ron.
This goes in the category of episodes that won't be good on Spotify because they'll have to see the photos. Sorry, guys.
I think our listeners know the pictures of Frank McGrath. You know what I mean?
Sorry, audio followers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Follow up to that. Up to date. Who's the best Canadian bodybuilder of all time up to current day? Paul Dillette, Ian Valliere.
Statistically, Ian Valliere.
So,
yeah, he won the most shows. He went to the Olympia a bunch of times. He's the most consistent. Yeah, Ian. I think it's no contest, isn't it?
Okay, well, let's not.
Like if you look, like when they say who's the greatest, you go, well, Tom Brady's got 7 rings, so Tom Brady's the best. I think Ian, didn't he do more Olympias than Paul Dillette now? Didn't he place higher at them on average? Didn't he do like all that?
I don't know the stats.
I think so. I
would personally vote for him though. He's probably my favorite, I would say.
Yeah. I
mean, no offense, Ron. Sorry, Ron. Besides you, but as far as like guys that I thought were like, this is like, I just saw potential in him of being like, oh crap, this guy could continue doing this and, actually win an Olympia. Like that, I saw him rise from nothing. Not nothing.
I saw him rise from the bottom. He turned pro super young.
Mean?
Like he turned pro at 21 or whatever. So you're like, oh. Because you know what happens every time someone turns pro at 21? It's either like, oh, okay, well, it's either the next J.
Yeah.
Or it's not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you just wait and see what happens. So.
And I remember when like nobody knew who he was, and I saw something about him, and the only place there was any coverage of him at all, there was like one interview with Palumbo. That was literally like all I could find online. Right. And I don't know if you remember this, but I talked to you, and I was like, hey, can you connect me to Ian Valliere, the Canadian bodybuilder? And you're like, oh yeah, I know Ian. And you connected me to him. I did an interview with him. And I think for me, that's the personal thing is like, after that, then, and he still was like, I mean, it's like, it's like there's Ian and then there's this girl, Melissa, and this guy, Chris, you know what I mean? That's like kind of the way it was back then.
Chris, yeah.
And this guy, he's going to do classic. And,
I remember those days. This guy, Chris.
Yeah, this guy, Chris. And to see where all of them, came from and where they went to. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. No, I like that question though. I remember hearing Fouad and all the guys talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they said the same thing,
Was Ian?
I think Ian was on the show too. So he's like, yeah.
And Fouad can't be like me, right?
Like, well, I look pretty good in Tampa. You know what I mean? Like, I look really good. Here's some photos. Look at the photo,
I'll be honest. Fouad always kind of intimidated me. Like, I didn't meet him, but I saw him. There was like this geared up gathering in Detroit, and he was working with Meadows at the time. And I was friends with John, but I wasn't friends with Fouad. I didn't really know him, and but he was there. He's like this big, like, dude, he was freaking huge.
Oh yeah,
like, massive, right?
He was hot.
And John, John was like, hey, they cracked open the garage door. And they were like, hey, pop your shirt off. Let's do some posing here. And I just remember him hitting a rear lat spread and just his imposing size, like his height and width and everything was just like, wow, next level.
Fouad did everything he could.
Yeah.
Like he looked really good and he was big and he was thick and had like, that depth to his torso when you see guys and you're like, oh, that guy's like a diesel burner. Like,
there's I like that term.
Yeah, like there's bodybuilders and then there's like guys that are fucking big.
Yeah.
And he had moved into that zone. Because I have been around bodybuilders my whole life, right? Some guys they're not huge in person. They look great on stage. But in person, you're like, oh yeah, he's got a great physique under that sweatshirt, you know? And then there's other guys you're like, oh, this guy's like thick.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, heavy ass squatter, heavy deadlifter, you know, which I don't know. I don't want to say that's just because that's why, but there's just something he trained hard as fuck.
Yeah. That was a cool event, though. I remember that Justin Harris was there, too. And there was a bunch of pros. It was at Ken Jackson's gym that he had here in Michigan.
Ken's
and
strong.
Everybody kind of gathered up together and got a workout in. And then there was like a Q&A afterwards that we talked a lot about. At the time, it was like how much highly branched cyclic dextrin can you drink in one workout was pretty much the sum up of that era.
That whole era?
I mean? Yeah.
Hey, man, I remember that era. Did I tell you that I trained with Hollingshead one day and I tried his drink?
Okay.
And I wasn't used to it. And it was like the hardest leg day. Oh, God. Yeah, James mixed me up. I'm like, what are you drinking? And he's like, oh, I got that cyclic dextrin with the what's the
Pepto-Pro?
The Pepto-Pro, yeah.
Pepto-Pro, the Cadillac of
The
proteins.
Cadillac of peptide proteins. Yeah, Pepto-Pro with branch chain cyclic dextrin with like other aminos added and probably some creatine in there and all shaken up. And I'm drinking this while I'm training legs, and it was rough.
Yeah.
I puked my guts out after we trained. At the end of that
That's
workout.
wild.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I imagine that was the wrong day to decide, I'm going to
Yeah.
try some highly branched cyclic dextrin. And it was probably like a big serving too.
Yeah, I remember James was like, you got to work yourself up so you get used to it.
Right,
So
you do.
So I thought, well, I'll start like a bit diluted from what he does. It wasn't nearly, and I was like, oh, so sick.
Yeah, we worked up to at the time. So I was training with Shelby and John were good friends at that time. And John was all about the intra workouts and we're doing John's training and John was writing the plans. So we started pushing and they're long workouts, man. So when I said I got involved with volume, like leg days were like going on 3 hours.
Oh,
like they were
God.
brutal long workouts and hot summer days and stuff with low AC and or bad AC. But we worked up to like 200 grams of carbs intra workout for those. I mean, you'd have to have like a gallon jug to, like almost full, you know, to get through that and not get a stomach upset issue, you know?
Yeah, fuck. Done a lot of dumb shit. Drank a lot of dumb shit. That like on paper, like, oh, this will be great. You know? Just funny.
Yeah. It was expensive too, man, as you can imagine.
Oh. I remember when I did that Bulgarian power split training back in like 91 or 92. I just followed this Bulgarian power split program that I got out of Flex magazine.
Yeah.
And it was like you do like a 40-minute workout and then you take like a 30-minute break. And it had to do with like your cortisol doesn't come up, it stays down or something, and you get like a surge of G8. Like it was all this, it was marketed all on this whole surge, right? You're creating like a second, and then you go back down into the gym, you do another 40-minute workout. And it was
God.
So it was like 4 days a week, but you trained twice back to back with a break.
With like a 40-minute break. That's
30-minute break. But then you drink this like shake.
Okay.
So you come back downstairs because the gym we had was like the pro shop was upstairs. To come back downstairs to train for the second workout, and you're like, bro, and you know, and the shakes back then weren't as good, right? So it was like all theoretical. No. It was just like someone just thinking this looks great on paper, and it was just like, the stuff we used to do. Programs out of Flex magazine.
I could just picture it now. I'd be like, Ron, are you feeling that growth hormone? Is that working for you? Is that
get that GH surge?
Yeah, I think I'm getting a different pump.
Positive anabolic environment. Yeah, exactly. You know.
Hey, I got an off-topic one for you that we've never asked you on the show before, but I know you have to have a story because Australia is filled with every single animal that 99% of animals that will unalive you are in Australia.
This is true.
Jeremy says, can we get some Australian bug or animal stories from Ron's time there?
I have a couple. So
you have to.
Yeah. So the first one I've told before, so I don't want to like overtell it, but
I don't think I've heard it, man.
So you know what a huntsman spider is, right?
Yes, I saw one too.
Yeah. So anyways, this huntsman in the story is about the size of my hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Like big. real big.
Real big.
Like the body isn't the size of my hand. It's like
but
size
the whole
of a giant
spider.
walnut.
Yeah.
But the spider is like big and hairy, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, I come home from work. It's like 4 a.m. Come home from the bar, bouncing at a club. My buddy John, he's in bed. Like we got a big house. We're renting a house, like big 3-bedroom house. So I come home. I'm in the kitchen. I make up a blender shake because back then we're blending all our shakes. There's no shaker stuff. It's blenders, right? So I'm blending up my shake, and it's 4 a.m. and I just got the kitchen light on, and I take my shake. I don't remember what's in it, but it was yummy. And I'm drinking it, and as I'm drinking, I realize that there's a huntsman spider sitting on the back of the blender.
Oh.
And he's staring me. He's staring me right in the eyes. So as I tip the blender up and I'm gulping shake, I'm looking dead-eyed into this huntsman spider's face that's like 6-7 inches from my face.
Yeah.
And I'm staring at it, not computing what's happening. I'm just gulping shake.
Yeah.
And then then I realize what's going on.
You heard like a hiss, you're saying?
No, I just...
Oh, there's a second
it
that
just takes a second for my brain to compute that there's a fucking huntsman. And I'm very Canadian at this point. I've been there for like 2 months.
Okay. You've never seen anything like this.
So I've
in your life,
seen
right?
a huntsman, but it was like in an alley. Like, oh, look at that big spider. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But this
Far
one's
away.
this one's on the back of the blender right in my face.
Yeah, in
so
your personal space.
My reaction is I just sort of go and I like throw the blender and sort of spit protein shake and like have just a reactive freak out. Like I do a real hard tricep extension into the sky with the blender. Ooh. And it goes spinning and it comes down in the sink, the blender, but it comes down and like washes up the other side of the sink. It kind of like half pipes out and keeps spinning and just spinning shake all over the roof and the window. And there's just a protein shake whirlwind happening as this blender spins and flips and bounces all over the counter and the sink. And I've spit protein shake out and I've jumped back. And this giant huntsman just lands on the floor right in front of me.
Yeah.
And just runs under the door into there was a giant front living room that we didn't use at all because we were renting this big 3-bedroom house that was probably 2,000 square feet. And we didn't use half of it. We didn't use half of it. So we had the whole front entryway. We just had the sliding doors closed and there was nothing in there.
Okay.
But he ran under that door, and it was like a big space under that door. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I opened the door. Of course, my roommate comes running out because he's like, what's going on? It's 4 a.m. And I'm like, oh, it's a giant huntsman. And he's like, what? Like, he's not afraid of it, right? He's like, oh, God, right?
Stop being a baby.
And we go in the other room, and it had been like a week since anyone had been in that room.
Okay.
And the huntsman is sitting up in the corner in this giant web. It spun like a giant web in that corner of that room. That we were just in that room. Like, I think one of us vacuumed in there because, like, we used to take turns taking care of the house, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, it built that giant web. And we kind of laughed at it. We were like, holy shit. And like, it's a big spider. I knew it wasn't going to kill me or anything. I was educated, but I go, what do we do? And he's like, oh, well, those will eat, like one of those will eat like all the roaches on the property.
Oh, okay.
So, so we actually opened the door and he actually took the broom and like just swept it out.
Okay.
And we didn't kill it. And then we just swept the web down, vacuumed. But it was just very unexpected. Welcome to Australia.
Oh God. Yeah. Right in your personal space,
right in
literally
my
inches
face.
from your face. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was living in the house, like just to know that was on the other side of that door the whole time. It'd been there at least a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had another time.
One. It was just to see it was terrifying. Yeah. And it was on the outside of our cabin. And I mean, it was like a dinner plate spider, just huge. I couldn't imagine it. And we had the luxury of being able to say like, oh, let's just not mess with it. Like your alley story, I just don't. I couldn't imagine it being that close. That would be insane.
Yeah. The only other one that was like notable was I opened the medicine cabinet. We were living in this old house and there was like one of those old, mirror medicine cabinets that it's got a magnet on it. You just click it open.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd ever opened it. Like, I don't know if I'd ever opened it, but I was looking for something And I thought, oh, well, maybe, I don't know, I'm looking for Advil or something. And I thought, well, maybe my roommate, D-ball, where's my D-ball? And so I opened it to look, and there was a perfect funnel web, like a little funnel web with a little black spider sitting in the back of it with a little red sign on the back, because the funnel webs are related to black widows. So they have they're black with the little red. It's a different looking symbol, but they have like a funnel style web, and they sit at the back of it.
Okay.
And it had built a little funnel in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, that's a funnel web spider. And like, they're very poisonous.
You don't mess with them.
Don't mess with them. And they're little, right? So there was on my Aussie neighbor, I was like, what do I do? And he's like, oh, I'll come and get it. So he like comes over, barefoot, just walking through his yard. Yeah. Just like not afraid. Yeah.
That's wild.
Funny stuff.
We had centipedes in New Mexico that got real big.
Oh,
like they were huge
weird.
centipedes. Yeah. They're like, 8 inches were the really big ones. And they're like, 3/4 of an inch wide, maybe. I remember seeing one when I first moved there. It was like 2 weeks in, and all I had for my bed was a futon mattress that I brought with me. And it's a futon mattress on the floor. And so I'm basically sitting on the floor, right? And I'm getting ready to go to sleep. And out of my peripheral vision on the other side of the room, I see something moving toward me. And so I look over, and it was the centipede. He was like running straight, like literally straight for me. It was, I stopped him, and then I put him in a box, and I wanted to keep it for a pet, and then that didn't end up working out. But I remember I grabbed something, and I like pinned him down. And when I pinned him down, you could hear his feet on the carpet going, like just trying to get away. Yeah. Like you could hit him. Like I grabbed a book, I think, and pinned him down with it. But it didn't even hurt. Like he's thick enough that I didn't smash him with it. I just held him there. You know what I mean?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
The first time I was in Malaysia, I was backpacking. I hadn't got to Australia yet.
Okay.
And we went to this backpacker lodge, and we realized it was like a rough shithole. Like it was. And I started seeing, and nighttime was coming. The sun was going down. We started seeing roaches everywhere.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, I hate roaches, but I remembered that we had just been in this store, like 2 blocks up. It was like one of those kind of corner general store type of things.
Yeah.
And I had seen bug spray.
Okay.
So I ran back there, and I bought what was like a can of Raid, right?
Yeah.
And I went in my room, in my backpacker room, and I sprayed that whole can of Raid along the door, sprayed it under the door. Like there was like a puddle of Raid on the floor under my door. Then there was like a puddle of Raid on the floor around this one vent. I just sprayed like half a can of Raid into the vent and all around. Probably terribly toxic for everyone who's breathing in this
including
air.
including me.
Yeah. I sprayed all this Raid around every little thing. Like there was a crack that I thought looked a little open, so I sprayed all this
suspicious.
Raid.
Yeah.
And then I was like sleeping at night, like because I hate roaches, right?
They're so gross.
I kept waking up and turning the light on. Be like, any fucking roaches in here? I was like on roach patrol for 2 nights.
Oh, God. Yeah. And then you don't know, like, are they in my luggage or am I taking them with me?
So the next morning, there were some dead roaches on the floor by the door.
Oh, okay.
So roaches had come in, and they make it a little ways, right? They go through the shit, and they kind of make it like a few feet across the floor, and then they like...
Yeah. So it worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
And then I got like, had to get a lung transplant.
Right. Yeah, it took 5 years off your life, But there were no roaches in your room that night.
No. Yeah, that was a lesson. Okay.
All right. What do you say we go to the we got these all the like we're not going to do all these, Ron. There's literally like close to 30 overrated underrateds.
Oh fuck. Okay, let's do a few. Let's do some good ones. I'm sure you could pick a good one.
All right. Let's see. Would you rather train with Arnold in his prime for 1 month or have a lifetime supply of supplements?
Well,
to train with Arnold. And we'll say Arnold in his prime, not like you can go to Gold's, next month and train with Arnold.
Am I at least healthy?
Oh, that's another good question.
I don't have a bad elbow. I'm not like Yeah.
That might have changed your whole trajectory too, though, because you never did a lot of volume. And what if 19-year-old Ron didn't go to Australia? He went to train with Arnold, and you're like, well, you got to train for 3 hours a day in the morning, and then you come back and you train 3 hours a day.
Maybe it would have worked for me, Scott. If
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that starstruck at the idea of training with Arnold for a month. It would be cool, but I also already get free supplements, so there's that.
Yeah.
So I'll go with training with Arnold. I'll train with Arnold for a month.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking that too. I was like, well, you already get supplements. So
yeah.
You're all set there.
No, it'll be fun. I think it would be just fun to train at that Gold's Gym.
Oh, yeah.
Like what's his prime? 74?
Yeah, somewhere in there. 74, 75. Yeah.
So spend a month at Gold's in 74. I can do that. That'd be fucking awesome.
That'd be sweet, dude. Just that experience in itself. I would trade a ton for that. I'll take no more supplements ever. And that includes growth, guys. No more growth.
See how my sense of humor tests out on girls from the 70s?
Yeah.
They won't get any of my Seinfeld references.
No, they won't, will
They'll be
they?
in big trouble.
All right. How about this one? Would you rather have to train at 4 a.m. every day or only be allowed to train after 10 p.m.?
Oh, two really annoying concepts.
Yeah, those are terrible. Are you guys open 24/7, by the way?
No.
Okay. What time do you guys close?
5 to 10.
5 to 10. All right. Which is reasonable. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
So I got to train at like 4 a.m. or I got to train after 10 p.m.
Yeah, so basically after the gym closes.
God. Well, that's Scott. That's one of the worst choices. I don't want to. That's a terrible choice.
Guys, I have to tell you, I've gotten to know you over the years, Ron. We've been doing this for a while.
That's
and
terrible.
I can say this definitively that you are not an early morning person, are you?
No. So the problem I have with this concept is I hate mornings. I'm not a morning. I'm not getting up at 4 to fucking train.
I was trying to be gentle with it.
Like,
yeah,
I'll just not train anymore. I'll just pick another hobby. I'll just do push-ups between guitar riffs or something.
Yeah.
So the 4 a.m. thing, that just, to me, is just like, oh, God. And then, but the problem with after 10 p.m. is that I don't mind the odd workout after 10 p.m., but I don't want to do that all the time because I got to structure like my energy levels and taking caffeine late all the time. I like to be in bed by midnight now if I can, and that's hard for me. I go to bed at 1 a.m. a lot of times, and I'm like, I got to get to bed earlier. You know what I mean? I go to bed at 1, get up at 8, 7 hours of sleep, right?
Yeah.
But I want to get to bed earlier, and the 10 o'clock thing would just annoy the shit out of me at this point. All that caffeine.
Yeah, no. No, and you're amped, like imagine like leg day or whatever, and then you're going to go home and go right to bed.
Well, Emily goes to bed
you're up for a while.
Emily goes to bed at 11, and then I have time to finish a few emails and get in one game of Madden, and then I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
That's a terrible choice. Who was that?
That's Victoria's responsible for that.
Oh.
She's
So here's my answer. Sorry
Victoria
for
Felker.
Sorry for bitching and complaining, Scott. Here's the
answer.
No,
that's the fun of it.
I think I would go with the 4 a.m.
Okay. I would definitely go with the 4.
Yeah. I just say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to commit to getting up even earlier now. I'm just going to get it over with and out of the way. And then I'd see if I could maybe make better use of my time through the day and get to bed earlier. But I wouldn't be happy about it.
I'm doing 6 a.m. now is when I've been getting up. But I go to bed at about 9. Like it was 9:30. Now it's...
God, the sun's still up.
It literally is. But we have blackout shades.
Like you're going to bed during the daytime, Scott.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. But I could get with the 4. I just you have to get used to it. I mean, you've probably trained first thing in the morning, haven't you?
Like I've done it when I had to. Yeah. I mean, there's periods of time, I've had multiple jobs at once and all that shit,
Right. Right. And you get into the groove with it, but it takes a little while.
Even if it's just one day a week. Like I had a period of time where I had to do my Saturday workout had to be early.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I had this big long shift on Saturdays, like double shift type of thing. So I had to get it in early.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, that was a good one. Okay, what next? Give me another one.
All right. let's see. We get a couple more here. Well, I already know the answer to some of these. Like, would you rather hit a new PR but tear a muscle, or never PR again but stay injury free forever? I mean, that's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
Would you rather bulk forever or cut forever but never reach your goal physique?
So basically, just be a bodybuilder.
Yeah,
just bodybuilding in general. Would you?
I've just been bulking since 2010.
I would rather cut forever because I'd live longer.
Yeah, there is that, isn't there?
You're gonna live longer.
You're gonna feel better.
Yeah, it's like being in a calorie deficit is a longevity hack.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Funny. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Would you rather eat?
I cut forever, but fall off the wagon twice a week. There we go.
I tried. I really did my best.
I'm cutting, but it's just been tough.
Would you rather eat plain tilapia for every meal or drink unflavored BCAAs every day?
Drink unflavored BCAAs.
Oh, you could just chug that, right?
Just chug that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I only really drink aminos when I train, so.
Yeah. And that would have been like all of 2005 to 2012. Like, I didn't really have a lot of flavors. You just drink stuff that tasted tolerable and did the job you needed to do,
Didn't even cross our minds how it tasted.
Okay, how about this one? Would you rather win Mr. Olympia once or be in the top 10 for 10 years straight?
Oh, win once.
Yeah?
Yeah. Win once. I mean, it's Mr. Olympia. You can win once, and then you can just retire. And say, oh, yeah.
Do it right. Get like your socials going before, during that and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I'm not even thinking the money. I'm just thinking like, it's the Olympia, it's the whole point. And I also think now in hindsight, like the guys that can get in and out the fastest are sometimes the healthiest.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, statistically, like, do you want to spend, an extra 10 years doing something, or you just want to get it done? I think of also NFL players too. Like, I think of guys who play like 5 seasons, they've got a, $2.1 million contract. They did the rookie thing. They made $250,000 for a couple of years as a rookie, and then they got signed again, and they make their $2.5 million for a few years, and they win a Super Bowl. Like, just quit.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, you're gonna get a head injury. You're gonna fucking blow it. Like, statistically, you're playing NFL football. Take your Super Bowl ring and your $6, $7, $8 million, and just fucking get out, dude. I just think that all the time when a young guy, like some of these guys first year draft to win a Super Bowl, I'm like, okay, bank $5 million and get out. But these guys, they're like, oh, $5 million's not much. I got all these houses and I got, this staff working for me now, and the next contract's $15 million, and they still need more money. And I just wonder where's it going? And like I just think, man, because we see what happens to people when, like, NFL's tough.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, bodybuilding is too if you're doing it for that long. But hey, then you've got guys, though, the guys that can do it for 10 years and hang in there. You've got your guys like Dexter Jackson that, he's probably healthier than anybody else.
That's the thing. To do that, it takes a certain type of guy who can do it and be smart about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
are you doing 10 years hanging on by a thread and doing everything it takes? Or are you just not eating fried chicken, Or
that's the thing. And that's another thing I think people don't realize is that they're competing against some people where 10 years means they're still off drugs for 4 months, a year.
Yeah.
Like, I know people don't believe anyone goes off, but there's guys that's how good they were,
You saw that picture I sent you on text yesterday, the guy with the waist?
Yeah.
Like that.
You helped that guy, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll put that up here. So we worked together for like a very limited time. He was like, well, I want to work with you, but me and my family were going to Disney World, and then I want to do nationals after that. And, I'll have like a good 6, 7 weeks or whatever, 8 weeks to like really, plug in and work real hard, dial it in after that. And he did, right? And he was natural. And he did place in the top call out at like 19 years old, like hardly knowing anything. And then of course, he goes and works with somebody else because, down the road, there's like people that are like, oh, I'll tell you what you need to know. And of course, then, things did progress and he did learn how to put on size with age. He turned pro quickly. Like it should have happened the next year, but it took him a few tries and he did get his pro card. But the waist, man, like people just, I think of him because like he didn't have to work for that. Like he could do that look for decades,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Which, some people don't realize, like I said, how easy it is for certain people.
That's what
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I'll try to come up with one good finisher here. We are in. Looks like we've got some.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Aesthetics here. Would you would you rather look amazing in person but terrible in photos, or amazing in photos but average in person?
I already get people say all the time, they have for a long time, like, oh, you're way bigger in person.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, but I say people don't realize that, like, that I'm a big guy. Like I'm, almost 6'1". I'm pretty wide, and like I'm a big guy, right? So I think it's a lot of people that were just referring to that because obviously I've downsized a lot. But I see even, and then when I was big, when I was 300 plus, I would overwhelmingly get that. And people would be like, oh, you're way bigger in person. They would say it like that too. You're way bigger in person. I'm like, oh, thanks. I don't know. I always just attributed it to how white I was. I didn't like really pop in photos or something,
It was a white guy thing.
Yeah, we're a white guy thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I would rather, I guess you got to take big in person, because
you don't want to let people down.
Exactly.
Yeah. And who cares?
I'd rather pleasantly surprise them.
Right. Yeah, that's the last thing, And yeah, that's funny,
Yeah. There's some other ones in here like that. Would you rather be a bodybuilding legend but broke, or wealthy and unknown in the fitness industry? I'll take, that's another no-brainer here. Would you rather be the best natural bodybuilder ever or the best bodybuilding coach of all time?
Oh. Well, I'd say best coach of all time.
Yeah, I'll take that too.
Because to be the best coach of all time, you have to have Olympias.
Yeah.
Like open Olympias, right?
Yeah.
You can't be the best coach of all time without open Olympias. And that beats being a natural world champ, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Like
with respect to the natural champ, I don't know if he's making the money that, like, I'm thinking about my future.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sort of thinking, like, would you rather be like a star player who wins a national title in college football, or a Super Bowl winning coach?
Yeah.
You're like, well, the coach has a pretty good story, and he gets to win a Super Bowl, and he gets to be at the very top of the food chain. Yeah. And there's a lot more money involved. So yeah, I'll go with that.
I'll take that too.
Yeah.
We missed a Canadian bodybuilder, by the way.
Who?
I mean, if we count classic.
Well, Bumstead. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't mention Chris.
I just default to, when we say best bodybuilder, I just default to men's open.
Yeah. No, I did too.
Yeah,
I did too.
Yeah.
But somebody in the comments, Ryan, mentioned that. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, something else. Those are good. Those are good. Overrated or would you rather's, or what do you call them? Choose one.
Overrated, underrated. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's some more in there too. Would you rather fart loudly on stage during your posing routine, or forget your entire posing sequence mid-show?
Forget posing. I can just make it up as I go.
Yeah. That's something you can do. You can't take the fart back. Just get up there and just.
Especially if there's like a dead stop in your music or something.
Yeah, gets real
like,
quiet.
Like a moment of tension. It's different if the crowd's going crazy and you like, you can get.
But if it's
it.
at that moment where they haven't started applauding yet,
they would like, gentlemen, front double bicep, and you just rip, like rip. What's the?
That's what you might be known as, that guy, especially if that got caught on social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
you're the guy that farted.
Yeah. So what have you seen? I've seen some stuff. I've seen some embarrassing things happen to people on stage. Like I saw like a few females have had like suit malfunctions.
I've seen that.
It's unfortunate, pretty embarrassing. Obviously, no one really cares, and everyone's like totally supportive. But at the time, I imagine they're horrified.
It throws their game off.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, suit malfunction, and then I know of a story I heard about a guy. Fortunately, no one realized what had happened, but he knew, and the guys in his class thought something happened. But I knew a guy who shit himself a bit on stage. He had squeezing out a pose, and he sharted in his trunks, but he had black trunks on, and you could smell it. And it was a very embarrassing story that was told to me by his friend. And he was like, they had already done several rounds, so he was just waiting and just hoping he could make it off without anyone noticing. And then they turned around from the back poses, and he was like, oh my God, I think I'm all right. I think I'm going to make it. And then he escaped the stage and did it very low key, and no one really knew. But I guess the one guy in his class was like, fuck, it stunk up there. Someone was farting.
Yeah.
And so that when you
I
said
smelled that too, man. I smelled that too.
When you said that, I thought of that story because I was like, oh my God, I can't even imagine the stress.
That would be, would be pretty rough, man. I don't think I have anything that terrible.
No, you've seen those videos of power lifters who puke.
Oh yeah,
right. Like they're doing the deadlift or the squat, and the front judge has to jump out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened at a bodybuilding show once that I was at.
You're kidding.
Yeah, there's a guy, he was doing the novice class, and he was big. He was a very big bodybuilder, and everyone was pretty excited to see him do his debut. And he was going to do the novice class. And so everyone is expecting him to kill everybody. So he comes out for the novice class, and he's obviously going to win. But, it was back in the 90s, and everyone was doing all that dumb shit. And he was saying to his friends, he's like, oh, I don't feel good. And they were like, oh, you look awesome. He's like, oh, I don't feel good. And he apparently didn't feel good at all, but just kept waiting for his class. Yeah. Trying not to drink anything and all that stuff, And he went out on stage, and they start calling poses, and the front lat spread, and all of a sudden you can tell he's not doing well. He's in the middle of the call out, and he has hands on his hips, and the other guys are posing, and he's just standing there, and then all of a sudden he just goes, and just projectile pukes. So they just go, we're going to call an intermission. And they just called an immediate intermission, and everyone left the stage, and the judges had to jump back out of the way, and it was horrible.
Oh, do you get DQ'd if you projectile vomit on stage, or they let you come back?
I don't remember what happened to him.
Because I feel like you might have a flatter stomach. You know what I'm saying? After all that, he came back and his waist was so small. It looked so good.
So I remember at one show there was a guy throwing up backstage.
Okay. That's scary, man, because you don't know why they're throwing up either. Is this dehydration or what?
Yeah, and one of the officials went over to him. He was a really good guy. He was an older guy, and he went over to him, and he was like, listen. And I think he gave him a Gatorade.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're going to drink that whole thing, or I'm not letting you on stage.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like, and you're going to do this, and I think he made him have something else. And he was like, if you don't have it, you can't go on stage. You're dehydrated. Your electrolytes are messed up. You're going to be in. He was just telling him, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I don't see it as much anymore, Ron, as I used to. But when I first started, which would have been you were already bodybuilding, it was diuretics were a lot more of a thing, extreme use of even just the calcium sparing diuretics,
Yeah.
And potassium sparing. Thank you. I knew I didn't have that right.
No, I got you.
But,
Stop the trolls.
Thank you. But I do remember, though, multiple occasions of I remember one girl in particular, figure girl, sitting on the steps, and her hands were just shaking. And I had Pedialyte there, and I was like, drink this, and told her here. I just so many times of that kind of thing happen. Even I remember, and this wasn't that long ago, I guess it was at the Olympia, a girl in 2018, maybe it was, there were a bunch, it was either bikini or figure, and it was at the expo stage, and they were all kind of lined up on the sides, and they were all right up along the curtains, and one of the girls who was back by the curtain just fell out, and they just
opened
up the curtain and pulled her back, and there was a bunch of people to attend to her right away.
Yeah. I remember when Dallas was in Australia, Dallas McCarver.
Yeah.
Remember before he died, he did that show in Australia, and he sort of started passing out during prejudging.
Yeah.
And they quickly carried him off the stage, and like, paramedics hit him. I was standing right there. Paramedics were all over him, blah, 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 blah. And it was like, oh shit, that didn't look
You were
good.
there for that, huh?
Oh yeah, I was right there backstage.
Wow.
And there was an Australian magazine at the time that was doing like a website thing, and they wanted me to interview everybody.
Oh, no
so
kidding.
I was kind of working for this Australian magazine, and I was interviewing everyone. So I had interviewed Dallas, and I was interviewing all the bodybuilders, and yeah. And so he came off, and he was like on the floor, and everyone was tending to him, and then we all left.
Yeah.
And then we came back for the finals later on, like, 5:00. And I walked backstage, and Dallas was standing there talking to Steve. And Steve was like, "You're not going on, man." And Dallas was like, "I'm fine though. I'm totally fine." And Steve's like, "No, man, you got carried off stage in prejudging. There's like liabilities. You're not going on."
Wow.
That's just how it works. I saw it happen. I can't unsee it. And Dallas was like, "Okay." And so he didn't let him go on. So it was the finals without him, right? But that's Steve being smart and responsible. Like,
right.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can't.
and I don't see that as being him like punishing him.
No,
as
it's
much
not a
as,
punishment. It's like,
this
dude,
is
you
an
can't go on, like-
organization.
Yeah. Like, it's terrible. And then what if something happens to you? Then right. Which obviously, a few months later it did, and that's just like terrible,
Yeah. Wow. No, you never told me that story before.
Yeah. Because he came back like, "I want to go on. Like, I'm ready. I feel great."
Yeah, which you would too once you correct things.
Yeah. A little IV, or maybe just drink salt water and just like, I don't know, whatever you got to do.
Yeah. Wow. Huh.
Here we go. Oh, do you remember when Dillette froze on stage at one of the Arnolds? Yeah, that was famous.
Yeah. They have the whole series of pictures of them
we talked
carrying
about
him
that
off
once
like
on
a
the
statue.
show. We did one of those reaction
Yeah, we
videos
did.
for Paul Dillette. Yeah. The
Yeah, you can't
LASIK
not-
days.
You can't not, unfortunately, talk about that if you're going to do like a sum up of Paul Dillette's bodybuilding.
Yeah. That was the LASIK stuff. That LASIKs.
Yeah. And that was like before my time. Once I started bodybuilding, everybody was like, "No, we don't ever touch loop diuretics."
Yeah, and think about this. Think about how crazy the 90s were. Guys made the same mistake more than once.
Yeah.
Like, Paul got messed up on loops for the Arnold, got carried off stage. And then at the 98 Olympia, I believe, he was first call out in the prejudging. And then I don't even think he finished the show because he was so messed up. I got to look that up. But there's a battle for the Olympia where they're walking to prejudging, the big group of them, right? They're all walking together from the hotel to the venue, and they're all walking as a group. And Paul has a giant jug of orange Gatorade, and he's chugging it on the way to prejudging.
Okay.
So something's up.
Yeah.
Like, Chad was like, "You're messed up. You got to get this in you." But then he never came back for finals, I don't think. I'm going to make sure what year that was, which tells you, like, what happened.
Yeah.
For him to not show up. And he was first call out. So let me just confirm if my memory is in fact that good.
Yeah. If you don't, somebody else will,
Ronnie, Flex, Nasser, Kevin, Sean, Chris, Lee, Ernie, Mike. Yeah.
No.
Paul Dillette did not finish.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So it was the 98 Olympia, and his score was 35 after the first round. So he was in the top 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, crazy times. And you just
Ryan
wonder,
mentions Momo Benaziza. So go back and watch. We just did that whole thing on Munzer. I don't know if he saw our reaction.
Yeah. Ryan here commenting. If you want to see that reaction on Munzer, we talk a lot about that stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
I think did we get through this thing, Ron? Did we do this without
we
Dusty?
Did all right. We did without Dusty.
We hung in there. We made it.
I'm
no Dusty, guys.
I tried.
We're missing a piece of our souls without Dusty here.
But it's good to venture out on your own so you don't become totally emotionally dependent on someone. Like, it's good for you and your wife to, maybe have dinner with, like, it's good for your wife to go have dinner with her friends once in a while.
Oh, and I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Oh, yeah. No, you go off and, you bang a few whores just in your own time. Like, it's just a little bit
good.
of, like, just world building.
Fresh.
Keep just so your perspective on humanity is not just the same,
Yeah.
So
she goes out with her friends, bang the horse. It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
You see how I see the world, right?
Yeah.
It's give and take. It's give and take, right? It's a little bit. It's fair. You, me, we both share. Yeah. Share life. Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck with that, Scott. Okay. And we miss Dusty. We'll see him again next week. And we do have some more guests coming up. So whatever you guys, any suggestions for guests, or if we have someone on and you think that they're especially good fit, or make sure you let us know.
Yeah, and leave us comments too for the next show. And you guys let us know what's going on if you're on Spotify. If you're on Spotify, we could probably use some good reviews, like some good 5-star reviews on Spotify. I'm guessing
we could definitely use a few that would help us out.
We're about to crack 40,000 subs on YouTube, which is pretty cool. And I compared 25 to 24. We have already had more views in 2025 than we did in all of 2024, Ron.
Really?
Growth is, I've been trying to push things in a few different ways to get the channel to keep growing. And 2025 has been, pretty good.
The growth has been selling really well. A lot of people buying the growth.
A lot of growth, yeah.
A lot of growth, really moving a lot of growth. Good.
Yeah, moving a lot of growth.
Want to see the channel really expand this year. Remember that code.
Yeah, you're It's joking. All jokes.
Totally
all
joking.
Jokes.
Edit,
YouTube,
remove this whole part.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to see the channel grow too. A lot of people tell me they're listening, and every single time someone says they listen to the show, I'm like, because like I said many times, we put the show out and it's out there.
Yeah.
And then when someone who's in my actual bubble comes up and says, "Hey, good show," and I'm like, "You listen to the show?" Like, it always blows me away. It always does. Okay.
Wait, one more thing. Where were you? You were traveling.
Traveling. Oh.
Weren't you traveling?
What, just on the weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just went to see my dad, my sister and brother.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like a mutant thing or...
No, I was just
like
on
that.
Vancouver Island. That's why we're doing the episode a little later today. For those of you who don't know, you don't care, and it doesn't matter. We're recording a little later than usual because I was traveling this morning back from went and saw my family yesterday. We just went over for lunch. And then Emily and I thought, instead of rushing to get another ferry home, because it's about a 4-hour trip door to door, like from my place to my sister's. It's about 4 hours. You get the ferry ride. There's a bunch of bullshit, Yeah. We thought, why don't we just get a hotel and stay for a night? And
that's a great idea.
Yeah, and we had our dog sitter our dog sitter had the dogs, so we were kind of like, we didn't have the kids for a night.
Yeah,
it was good,
I love it.
Yeah.
It. I got to check out Vancouver Island. Of course, Victoria's told me all about it. I've seen like pictures of the ferry and all of that. One day when we have more time and we get out there, I want to see the island.
It's
and
a very
I want to go
Canadian experience. Too. Taking the ferry over to Vancouver Island is just like, it's something that we take. It's like, to us, it's normal. But a lot of Americans that come, they're like, that was real. That was a great trip. Like, to go over to the island and see it. And it's funny because, people who live on the island might not think this, but when I get to the island, you get off the ferry on the other side, and it just feels like everything's moving slow.
Yeah, I like that feeling.
It can be if that's what you need. Like you're like, let's go have a couple days on the island.
Yeah,
that's nice. But if you're like kind of in a hurry, like we got to get to my sister's for lunch and then rush back to the ferry.
That's not fun.
That's not fun. So that's why we didn't want to do that, because traffic's not moving quickly.
It's a big island too. Have you ever been to Nanaimo?
On
the island?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been through there lots.
I plan on doing some serious Nanaimo bar shopping when I get there.
You don't have to go to Nanaimo to get Nanaimo
But I feel
bars.
but I feel like I've got the supplies here in my house. We've got kits to make them. Like, we can do it on our own, but I want to try from the source and see if they're better.
Right. See if they're better. I get it. The curiosity makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
bring a little humalog.
You gotta have a humalog if you're going to do the Nanaimo bars.
Yeah.
Yes. Make sure you're very depleted.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so you
the
can
plan,
maximize
man.
your loading.
Yes.
Okay. Well, remember, everybody, IamMutant.com. Use your code Big Ron or Dusty. Get your 20% off. Save 20%. Don't see people. Stay home. Have it delivered. Yes. And I gotta brag, the delivery on Mutant stuff is super fast. Like, you guys are, if you order it, you're gonna get it so fast. You're gonna think, is Amazon involved with this? Like, this is crazy, but they're not. It's amazing.
No, they're good, man. They're quick. They've got, Jim has, it's not just being shipped from Canada. Like you guys have distribution in the U.S. So
so we have a warehouse full of it that we've already shipped to, and then it gets shipped out of there. So it's quick. Yeah, it's nice and fast. I think where's the headquarters for shipping? Is it actually like Nashville or something?
Oh, you'd know better than me.
Yeah, I think it's the FedEx headquarters is in like some city that you think is like, I think it's Nashville, because I remember thinking, oh, it's Music City, but then they're like, it's also the FedEx main airport or something like that.
I see.
So there's a lot of stuff that, and I don't want to misquote, say it's Nashville, but it's one of those cities that you think is something else, right?
Yeah.
We can look that up. But anyways, I think our warehouse is there so that stuff can be like shipped very quickly, you know?
Let's see here. Memphis, Tennessee. That's where
Memphis.
The FedEx headquarters is. So anywhere close to that area would probably be good. You get good service there, you know?
Yeah, so I think it has something to do with that. I think that's where their warehouse is. It's something to do with the headquarters of shipping, you know?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
But it's the test. Find out for yourselves. Use code Big Ron. Or Dusty. He's not here, but you could use the Dusty code too.
IamMutant.com. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell. I was almost waiting for somebody else to say it. I was like,
that's
good. Me.
That was good.
Yes.
And
I'm Patreon.
Remember the Patreon. And then also, too, I'm going to be on Blood, Sweat, and Gear this week, right?
Yeah. We don't know what we're going to do yet, but we'll figure it out by then. So,
I want to be prepared. And if I need to be included on a text email or a text chain or anything, let me know.
I will
do that for you, Scott. I will accept another chat chain.
I missed something today.
What'd you miss? What we got to do?
We had a physique critique.
You want to do it?
You got 5 minutes, Ron? I just realized that right now.
I got 5 minutes. We can insert it. You can insert it.
All right. Yeah. Well, we're not done yet.
We're not done.
Technically, I literally have his email pulled up right now. All right. This is Kevin.
So this is the bonus section for those of you that haven't left. This is true last 5 minute crew.
Yeah, it really is. Kevin's like, you guys forgot about me. You know what I'm saying? Until this.
Oh, no way.
All right. He said, I wanted to submit a critique to It's Just Bodybuilding. He said, this pod is my favorite. The synergy between you three is evident.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. He's currently 193 pounds. Did his first show last December. I know I need to grow everywhere, LOL. Having a hard time growing on 300 grams of protein, 350 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. I never had issues gaining weight in the past, but after this show, my body is definitely different. The difficulty in gaining has come from marriage, relationship stress, extremely high, or my body's ability to burn through calories. My coach is a friend of the shows, and you've had him on and tell you some old school stories. He made me eat burgers and fries 4 weeks and cheat meals 2 times a week to slow down digestion and help absorption of clean food. I'm a coach myself for lifestyle clients, and I'm not sure that the philosophy of this. Let's see. Anyways, currently only 600 milligrams of gear, I think is what he's saying. Was running 900 test, 400 mass, but due to life stress, I am waiting to push, even though my body doesn't seem to respond to any anabolics outside of trend. By the way, thanks a lot, Kevin. Now I have to certify that this program is related to that stuff too. We got away with not talking about that stuff, Ron, all the way up till now. Let's see. All right, here we go. So here's the pictures. We got a front double here, and let's see if I can. No, I can't zoom that in any further. Yeah, there we go. So we got a front double. We got a rear relaxed. We've got a front relaxed, and a rear double.
Okay. How old is he? Do you know?
I didn't catch his age, but I'm gonna guess. Late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
Got a good beard.
So he's not too fat. So like see his
Right.
quads, you can see quad separation, and he's got ankles and calves, and he's got like a waistline, and I don't mind that his like abs are kind of foggy, because like, that's fine. His condition's fine. He can be this body fat level. That's no problem at all. He just needs to grow. I mean, you know, he's 193. I don't know how tall he would be, but you know, he needs to just pack on a bunch of size. I don't like the drug doses that he was on. I think he's on too much gear. I think that, you know, he should look at trying to hit like 225 pounds on like 500 megs of test.
Okay.
I really do believe that like the first 80% of everything you're doing to try to be a big bodybuilder can be done on relatively conservative doses of testosterone and minor cycles. It's the difference between that guy and like, you know, the next level that we all want to get to. That's where things change. But at his level, he just needs to train and eat long periods of time with some test in him. Like that's all he needs. I don't see anything like wrong with his physique. Like he needs mass everywhere, but like he's got legs already and looks like he's training everything. You know, he's got back width and some thickness. So I would just keep on it, but I would keep the drugs to a minimum, and I would be patient with the timeline. And one thing that he said that I don't like was he said, like, my body doesn't seem to respond to anything but tren. And I would say, like, that's probably a misconception. It's probably what you feel, but it's not accurate to reality. You just need time.
I like that. I'll add this, because we don't know anything about his training.
Yeah, there's a bunch of holes, right? So I'm just...
Yeah. You know. I'll say this, just out of my own personal experience, Ron, that, you know, I trained hard, right? You know, we talked today about like these long workouts that I was doing with Shelby, and John was writing them. And, you know, I took plenty of gear. I was eating all the food and taking all the intra-workout carbs. And I made progress. I competed. You know, I maybe don't give myself enough credit, because in the scheme of people who've lifted weights in their lives, most people can't say that they were like a consistent, you know, light heavyweight. Like if I was going to be a light heavyweight at a state show, that I would be a threat there to some degree, you know, and I can say that most people haven't reached that level. Like most people who are listening to the shows haven't even competed. So I put on a decent amount of muscle, but I still didn't tap into what you or Dusty had tapped into. And I could come up with all sorts of reasons. Maybe I obviously didn't do it for as long either, but I really figured things out in my 40s on the least amount of gear that I had ever taken. Like literally I'd taken all sorts of stuff, right? Competing and running 600 tests, and eating just casually, like making sure I ate enough protein each day. And the carbs were like, well, whatever carbs fit with that meal. Like I wasn't paying attention to my food. I was taking 600 tests, but my training got to be at the next level. And I really chased down strength. And at that point, the scale just started moving again in my mid 40s. Somebody who took all sorts of gear in the past, somebody who ate way more than that, somebody who had done all sorts of volume and everything. I finally like was onto something, and the scale was like moving into places I had never seen it before. It all came back to that training. So I just wonder what his training is like. You know, is there anything in there that he can tap into? You know, maybe his recovery isn't, maybe he needs, I mean, Ron, I started like with a push-pull legs 5 days a week at that strongest point. Yeah. And as I built strength, this was crazy, dude, but I went to 1 day on, 2 days off. And I kept getting, it was like, it slowly morphed into that. But at my ultimate strongest, I was like, fuck it. I think if I take another day off, I'll be even stronger, and I'll be able to, you know, surpass my previous best. And I did, you know, so out of 9 days, I trained 3 times, and I was like getting close to 240. You know, and that would have been the heaviest. I'd gotten to the 230s before, but this was like, I'm closing in on 240. I'm closing in on that. And I'm not taking nearly as much as I had in the past. I'm not even pushing the food right now. So I guess seeing that, I really saw some shit that I missed with training. And part of that maybe had to do too with in the past, like I had a really busy physical job that probably ate into some of my calories. Stress. He was talking about having a really high stress. I don't know how you get rid of that. Yeah. But
You
like
mentioned
stress,
that.
man, is going to destroy your gains, you know? I don't know
Yeah.
how you get rid of it, how you fix it, but fix your life so that you can be good at bodybuilding, I guess, you know?
Yeah. I don't preach to people or harp to people, and I know that
Yeah.
the decisions I made were my own, but I always like specifically, I mean, I was just so steadfast on what I was doing. I was not being deterred. So I was very like, if I was going to date you, I wanted you to be fully aware of what I was doing. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to date someone who knew what bodybuilding was, like, what's going on here. And I want them to understand. I didn't hide a single thing. It was out in the open right from the start. And those are the only girls I dated. And so when I see bodybuilders like dating people who, you know, I'm not saying this is the case with this guy, but
Right,
like
of
maybe
course.
maybe their wife or something hates their training or hates their dieting or hates, it's like, okay, either this isn't the person for you because they just don't want you to do this thing for some reason, or you're not good at doing it and managing your mood and your time and your attention. And, you know, so it goes both ways. Like sometimes it's just like, you got to get rid of that crazy bitch. And then other times it's like, you're impossible. I can't believe she's still with you. You're so lucky
I'm glad
you even have a girlfriend.
I feel like people don't point that side out enough.
Yeah.
We hear the other side, you know, like you need somebody who supports you.
It's like
you also have to be able to take care of your own shit. Yeah.
She's like, yeah. She's like, he quit work for 5 weeks because he wanted to peak for his entry level show.
Yeah, for the state level show. Yeah.
And you're like, what? So what? You're just bringing a paycheck home? Yeah, it's all on me. Like, I hear that stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You know?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. I remember like more than one guy. So I don't want anyone to think that this is about them. Because this is lots of dudes back in the day. But back in like the early 2000s, 2000 to 2006, 7, I lived in Edmonton, Alberta.
Okay.
And it's blue collar. That's Oilers, right? Oil town, right?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people work in the oil field, oil patch is big deals. And back then the economy was cranking. Yeah. So like all those guys in the oil field, I don't exactly know how it works because I never worked in the oil field, but they would say stuff like, yeah, I quit that job. I just went down to the union, got a new job right away. It was like there was so much work that, like, I remember having bodybuilders that I was helping, and he's like, yeah, I couldn't get the show off, so I just quit. Like, and he's like, and these are guys that make like, back in those days too, this is 20 years ago, and they're making like way over 6 figures. Like, they're just laughing.
Wow.
These are blue collar dudes that are making $200,000 a year. They're got a house, they got a truck, they got a Skidoo, they got all the toys. They're just banking money. They're making so much money at the time. So they don't care. He's like, yeah, I couldn't get the show off, so I just quit. And I'm like, oh, what are you going to do? Oh, I'll just go down to the union and just get another job after the show. Like, because they were all like pipe fitters and welders. And so there was like all this like infrastructure for them to do that. And there was so much work constantly, never ending. The economy was just going ballistic. So it was just this free for all. Guys would quit just because they couldn't get Saturday off for legs. Like, like I knew a guy, he quit multiple jobs. I dated him for a bunch of shows, and he'd always be telling, I quit that job. Yeah, no, they wanted me to do overtime. I do overtime. I'm like 10 weeks out now. I don't do overtime. Told those guys to fuck off.
And you know, you could make that stuff work, because I've seen the other side of it where somebody's maybe stuck at a job that they're maybe not doing the best.
Right.
It's not the best for their life, but they're able to eat their food when they want to be able to. And they're like, well, if I got that new job, I don't know if I'd be able to do that there. You know? It's like, we'll make it work no matter where you're at. Do what's best for your life first.
I was laughed at the dude who just quit. He quit his job. Quit his job that paid $170,000 a year. Just quits it. I couldn't get Saturday off.
Yeah, that's crazy,
so
man.
Funny. There's another one. There's tons of those jobs. It's funny. Yeah, it was a funny time. But I knew lots of dudes like that, you know, just anything for the prep.
Yeah, but with Kevin, I'm with you. I didn't see anything in his physique where I'm like, oh, dude, you need some arms. In fact, his arms look pretty strong to me. You know, everything looks there. Yeah. It's just that matter of like, I see this as being a situation where like you need to figure out the switch. There's a switch to get to that next level. And maybe there's something in there. We don't know what it is. Maybe it's getting the stress reduced, figuring that side of your life out. Maybe it is the training. I would definitely take a hard look at training and you know, and maybe it's not the stuff I'm talking about, you know, like I'm telling you like, oh, I went super hard. No, maybe it's something else for you, you know,
and maybe it's just time. Time is just a forgotten factor. It's the one we can't do anything about, so we don't talk about it. You know what I mean? It's not a variable that you can do anything about other than try to use to your best ability, you know? So it could just be time. I mean, the guy might just need 5 years of just slugging away. And then
it's very wise words, Ron.
You know?
Very wise.
I don't know. That's a funny word to use. Wise.
It's wise,
so,
yes.
Well, thanks, Scott. Okay. There was, is that a good last 5 minute crew?
That was good, man. That was for this year. I think you guys got, that was like the gem for the last 5 minute crew right there.
Okay.
You know?
Well, I'm happy about that. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the people that tagged along. We went live last minute. Scott just said, hey, I'm just going to turn the channel on and see if we get anybody.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Of people on the B channel.
Yeah, we get Ryan and we get Blunt Force Tanya and we get, you know, a couple
is
people
with us.
Dilsey and Ross and Mark and a couple of people that we've seen before on this stuff. So it's Ethan also poked his head in. Yeah, good to see. It's always the same. Okay. Thanks, guys. Remember, it's just bodybuilding. Good.
All right.